I was at a spiritual retreat about 4 or 5 years ago. It was a retreat that was being offered by Adyashanti, a spiritual teacher. And I don't know, it must have been day 3 or 4 of the retreat. So it was a silent retreat. And I was getting, as the other participants were, we were getting very deep inside of ourselves. And I was experiencing this depth. And somehow when you're in retreat, the teachings, the spiritual teachings, the Dharma talks, the satsangs, they kind of get in at a deeper level somehow. I guess we're more open to them and they get in deeper. And Adya did this talk. Adyashanti is, he's also known as Adya, did this talk. And he started it out and he said, all spiritual teachings are either like ascending or descending in nature. And the ascending energy is more what he would call awakening energy. And it's going from us out. And, it's like a spiritual awakening. We are breaking out of our box and through the veil and awakening to life as it is. So it's more of this up ascending, upper chakra, crown chakras up, and this is some of me. This isn't just Adya anymore. I'm adding the chakra stuff in. So, and then the descending is what Adya called embodiment. And that's when you go and you have this spiritual awakening and then you bring it back into your life, into your body, into your being, your humanness. And then, then you walk, sometimes the Buddhists call you, the walking embodiment of Buddha nature, of the Buddha. And so then, so that's the descending. I've been known to call that energy integration. I like embodiment, integration, and that's bringing it back into your life, taking the spiritual teaching that you awaken, bringing it into your relationships, into your purpose, into your walk through life. And it was just really profound when I just, one of those truths that I just like, it really resonated. It was like, that is true, and it's stuck with me ever since. And it's been coming back around lately too, in life, in my life, and with some of my clients. And the way it's been coming in is like, I guess I would like to also, hopefully this does justice to Adya's idea. I'm now taking this idea and working with it in my tradition, which is different than Adya's. And I want to apply it to the medicine wheel, which is, more of a shamanistic tradition. And so when we go around the medicine wheel or the wheel of life, I've talked about this many times in my videos, it starts in the east and in springtime, and then it moves into the summer. So we have this new vision, new idea, new aspect of our life that we're giving birth to in the spring, and then it matures and develops in the south. It finds maturity in the west, which is like the fall, the south being the summertime, and then it moves up into the north, into that wisdom of older age and elderhood, if you would. So it's this medicine wheel, and the things we go around the medicine wheel, so says my tradition, as we grow. And I really think the ascending and the descending fits really well with this. In the East is a real ascending energy. It's like we're having vision and awakening, and these things happening, and the new vision, new life, birth, and birth to something new in ourselves. And then as we move into the South, it's that time of high ceremony, and it's when we're that's with summer solstice, and there's this dynamic energy. So there's these dynamic energies in the East and the South. And then in the medicine wheel, the masculine and dynamic energy surrenders to the feminine energy, or the receptive, as it moves from like maybe southwest, we'd call it. And then you've got these, maturity. The West and the North, the fall and the winter, is a time when we integrate or we embody the things we've awakened down in the East and the South. And so, so hopefully you're following me here. So we've got, similar to what Adya was talking about, you got the awakening and then the embodiment. You got the awakening and then you're bringing it back, you're integrating it and embodying it back into your life. And this is part of the cycle of life, and what often happens is in spiritual quests is we can lean a little more toward that awakening energy, that spiritual energy. And, it's because when that happens, it's like it really feels spiritual. It feels kind of transcendent when we awaken something. We have an awakening, an epiphany. We have a vision. We have this intuitive, something breaks free and opens, and we see through the illusion, and it's very powerful energy, and it's really expansive, right? It's taking it from it's an expansive energy, and it can become very intoxicating. Euphoric would be a word. It feels like wow, and it feels like wow, this is more important than anything else. It's like my humanness, my human bummers don't really mean much to me right now. My marriage may be in the toilet or whatever. So what? But I'm so expanded, and I'm like one with everything, and all is good. And of course, this is where spiritual bypassing can come in. It's a term that you may have heard. It gets thrown around quite a bit. And I think it really fits here, is we can stay in the euphoric part of this awakening, and it's like it's all one and nothing matters, and and then there's a tendency when we bring it, the embodiment or the descending energy, when we embody it, is maybe a little, I wouldn't say more challenging, but it's definitely can be more emotional and more vulnerable. Because then we bring it back into our body, that higher vibration that we awakened, it's going to come in and it's going to vibrate in our body, and it's going to awaken, meaning we're going to feel stuff and we're going to heal stuff. The body is like kind of, it's going to be liberated from it. You're bringing that vibration, so your body's going to literally vibrate at a different level, and that shakes some stuff. That definitely, gets the rust out of the pipes, if you will. I mean, that definitely shakes some stuff, and some of the stuff it shakes free is can be very sad. It can be grief. It can be pain. It can be healing wounds. It can be dealing with trauma, and it can be because it's like this stuff. As it vibrates at a high level, there's no longer room for that lower vibration energy, if you will. So it heals, and it like awakens, and we're like, ow. So that can be really vulnerable. It can be painful. It can be very scary. And there's a tendency like to put that, we open, it's like pat that back down. We don't need to be dealing with it. Let's go back to being awakened. Let's go like, wow, it's all euphoric again. This is good. We'll just hang out here, and that has its value for sure. But I think the true value of spirituality is having both, being the spiritual and the human, okay? Of awakening and then bringing it back to your people. When Joseph Campbell talked about the hero, the hero's journey, I think he called it. The hero would go out, experience it, and then he or she would bring that back to her people. Vision quest in the Native American culture. You seek your vision, and then you come back and you share your vision to make the people stronger. There's the descending. You have the vision, ascending, awakening, you share it, you bring it back into your life, and you share it back with your people in the form of service. And I noticed this recently. I noticed I was kind of had these new awakenings, and I was really hanging out in this kind of, euphoria stuff, and it was really cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, the awakening is great. And I was doing all this new stuff, and I was just really fired up about it. And I noticed, luckily, I have a coach and teacher that I work with, and she's able to help me point. I mean, I kind of figured it out myself during a session, but it's like, I mean, I remember just like, oh yeah, well, the relationship stuff, there's some stuff going on there, but who cares? Because I'm like, it's all good, maybe I don't even need a relationship, right? I'll just explore this stuff, and I guess I kind of shared that energy with my teacher, and she was just like, it doesn't seem real balanced, and she didn't call it spiritual bypassing, but I kind of figured it out, and it just is like, okay. And it just kind of hit recently. It's like, well, okay, now I need to balance it out. And all this new stuff, I need to bring it down and kind of work with it and embody it more. So I just wanted to point that out. So Adya shared it with me, and I'm sharing it in my way with you. And there's a lot of folks that are kind of hang out in the spiritual, but maybe we can have yin and yang. Maybe we can have spiritual and human. Maybe we can be the walking embodiment of the Buddha rather than just hanging out in the ethers as the Buddha. So anyway, that is my video for this week. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope you really enjoy your week. And maybe as you go through your week, just maybe notice the awakening and the embodiment energy, the ascending and the descending. And how is it? Are you allowing room for both in your life? And anyway, I will see you in a week.